is Afternoons with me, Helen Farmer. It is coming up to 5 minutes past 1, and we're actually going to kick off with a competition. We are teaming up with Right Market every day this week to share some of the ways that you could be enjoying yourselves, or indeed your family could, during the holy month of Ramadan. They've got so much going on. There's daytime visits, there's evenings in the park, so much to eat and indeed buy as well. So at the weekend, you've got the petting zoo, there's play areas, there's horse riding, there's workshops, free fitness classes. And then, as I said, during Ramadan as well, after sunset, you've got bites from more than 30 food concepts. So we've got a different prize every day this week. And today it's one for the kids. We have got access for one child to go to Infinite Camps. It's their spring camp at Right Market in Academy Park. And this is worth 1,500 dirhams. They're going to have themed weeks. They've got loads of sporting activities, games, arts and crafts, music, dance, sensory play. So, yeah, nice chance for your kid to make some memories with Infinite Camps. So that's at Right Market Academy Park. If you want to win that for your child, I would just like to know what are they into? Like, we know in terms of their hobbies, their interests. Tell us. If you say iPad, I think you might be immediately disqualified. But I'd love to hear, what are your children really enjoying right now? We're massively into colouring, and loom bands seem to be the thing in our household. So loom bands, colouring, and the best purchase we ever made, the scooters. They just want to scoot everywhere. So what about you? What are your kids into? Let me know. 4001 is the SMS. You can use the ARN Play app, of course. The WhatsApp is 04871 5500. Please do include your name and the word camp so the computer can pick you out of the system. So good luck. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, you can use those same numbers. And if you want to get in touch, whether it is about fatherhood, it's about Lego, or indeed about teens, you can be anonymous on those numbers. But to win, the word camp and your name, please. We are celebrating fatherhood in all of its messy glory today, because I feel like we often talk about mindful parenting, and maybe because I'm a mum, it often comes from that more feminine perspective. But what about the dads? Our guest this hour says that men are struggling too with stress, pressure to provide, emotional isolation, and this feeling that, we've got to hold it all together. Dominic Watts is a holistic wellbeing coach at the Free Spirit Collective, a former teacher who's brought meditation into schools and is now the author of Diary of a Mindful Dad, Uncensored. In the book, which we're going to be unpacking through this hour, he opens up about the chaos, the fear, the love, the raw reality of becoming a father. And yes, Dom, I think challenging the idea that being mindful means sitting serenely on a cushion while life unfolds. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm really well. I'm really glad you're here, because I love to hear from dads, as we said, in all of that messy glory. Just to set the scene, how old are your kids?
4 and 2.
Okay. And what are some of the big challenges that you're facing with yours right now?
Getting out of the house, putting socks on.
Socks.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Actually been some extraordinary battles about the seams on socks.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Now, my kids are a bit older, so we can talk about the different challenges that can come with their ages and stages. But you've argued and put forward this idea that, as men in particular, learning to face and acknowledge your emotions first can be one of the most powerful gifts that we can give our children. Tell us a little bit about that and about your journey. How did, from being a teacher and a wellbeing coach and now a dad, kind of inform your views on mindfulness and parenting?
Yeah, well, it's chaos, like you said. So all of the nice aspects of what we perceive to be mindfulness, conscious living, it sounds serene, doesn't it? And it sounds like nice and not really having any problems. And obviously, children come into the mix and just throw all of that up in the air, turn everything upside down. And so it's almost like you've been practicing. It's like everything I'd been doing before then was just practicing for the sheer chaos that they bring. It is wonderful chaos. It's amazing. It's a huge adventure, but they make it all supremely real. I was unbelievably surprised by the power of the emotions which arise in the parenting journey in every instance. So not just the love. Everyone talks about the love and everyone talks about the stress, but it's everything, because they are your child. Every single thing they experience, all the things you discuss, every aspect of life just takes on a different flavour once they're in the mix. And so Yeah, I just think I'm so grateful that I spent so much time in the past practicing meditation, trying to understand my mind and my emotions, because
You're drawing on all of it now.
yeah, all the time.
And what's interesting about parenthood that I find is that nothing prepares you. You can read the books. You can talk to other parents that have been in the trenches, but it's so individual to you and your mindset and how you were brought up. And then it's individual to the child that you've brought into the world. And then they change. You're like, okay, I've cracked it. And then it's like a new leap or a new challenge. And what I think a lot of people struggle with, and I'd be curious, as I said, I speak to a lot of mums, but I know you work with a lot of men, is that we're used to doing what we're good at in life. For you, it was teaching. And then you have this bundle that comes along, and that classic line of, kids don't come with a manual. They really don't. And I think our confidence can be massively shaken. And what I've seen, unfortunately, with a lot of men is this tendency to withdraw and go, I'm not good at it. I'm being criticised for not doing things properly. I'm sleep deprived. I'm not really enjoying this stage. Is that fair?
Yeah, that noise at the end really captures it all. Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the reason why I wrote this book, actually, because there's so many books out there which are essentially kind of textbooks about it, and they're amazing in their own right. They really are. And everything that's written in these books is really insightful in a sense. But then I just found, as I was reading them, as I was preparing for this, that it felt like most of it was not really applicable because it wasn't happening, and I just thought, I want to write something that's what's actually happening now, let's see what it's like as things happen. And obviously it was a kind of a crazy idea because it was unbelievably stressful to write the book. I added a whole extra layer of stress, which was in theory unnecessary, but I'm really glad I did it now looking back.
So you're drawing from your own experiences, Dom, as I said, as a former teacher, but now as a coach at Free Spirit Collective. But when you're having conversations either, at school drop-off or in clinic, what are some of the challenges that men are coming to you with? What is making them think that something's not working?
I think you summed it up really well previously, and I think that there's so many different challenges. It's every single aspect of raising a child is challenging in a different way. And like you said, it's individual. Some dads take quite well to the very early stage, actually. I've got some friends who really, really enjoy that stage, and they're surprised by how well they've taken to the baby stage. But like you said, many dads are kind of a bit freaked out by the baby stage, as I definitely was in the beginning. My dad wanted nothing to do with the baby stage. He says that openly. He says as soon as you were X years old, I've forgotten what he says, maybe 3 or 4. He's like, he felt like he could
32.
Really, yeah, maybe.
But I think it's this idea of, especially if mum is breastfeeding, it's this idea of feeling like you're on the outside or haven't really handled babies before, and all of that. But then each stage does bring a different challenge, but it also brings a different opportunity for connection. And I often worry that if dads feel like they haven't got that initial connection in that baby stage, that they're not natural dads or this isn't for them. And I think what your book does, and you say it's uncensored and it's very honest, is it allows men to go, actually, it's okay, because a lot of other men feel like they're not good at this. But there are things that are in my control on the practical front with the parenting and all that tips and stuff. And as you say, there's reference books for that, and you can talk about your leaps and your sleeps. But nurturing that emotional side and having that vulnerability actually becomes really powerful.
I think that's the most important thing. And I think if there's a conclusion to the book, it's a constant conclusion for me, which is that if you turn away from the adventure, that's it. You're turning away. You're closing the door to all of it. Yes, you're closing the door to some of the stress and suffering that comes from the stressful aspects of it, but you're also closing the door to all of the beauty and wonder of it. And we just have to open the door, keep it open it again and again and again and again. And that is relentless, but that makes it sound negative. It's not, for me. I don't experience it as negative. I experience it as really unexpected and surprising on a continuous basis. And I think just making that decision, it's not an intellectual decision. You can't make that decision from your mind. Okay, I'm going to show up fully for every day. That means nothing. It's like an addict saying they're going to give something up one day and then the next day they go and do it, right? So for me, it's that comes from habituating presence. And that's what I'm trying to do all the time. That's what I was doing in schools, making presence your habit. For me, that's the only, if there's a formula, that's the formula for me. It's just bring all your energy to right now.
We're going to be talking about some of the challenges that can face men, and we've already had a message about only seeing kids at the weekend, so how can you make that time count when it comes to authentic connection? But I also want to address this idea that mindfulness meditation is, for many men, not seen as something for them. So we're going to be talking about some of the misconceptions too. Don Watts is in the studio, author of Diary of a Mindful Dad, Uncensored. If you want to send me the word dad, I'll send you his details. And of course, if you'd like his advice, you can be totally anonymous on the text line 4001. We'd love to hear from you, or indeed if you are a mum or wife who wants some advice about the man in your life. We're here for you too.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Stay at iconic hotels and play at record-breaking theme parks. Book now on yasisland.com.
1:15. How are the roads looking, Jen?
Not too bad right now. Better than the past few days, I would say. We do have a lot of traffic on Sakim Street at the moment, both directions between Sheikh Zayed Road and Al Khail Road, although where the new bridge is, looking great.
Hurrah!
Happy days there. We've got an accident on the northbound carriageway of Sheikh Zayed Road, just outside Al Quoz. That's before the Manara Street turn-off. And we've got an accident on Al Maidan Street, just before the junction with Sheikh Zayed Road as you head towards the coast. Al Khail Road's very busy between D3 and Business Bay. And in front of Business Bay, you're going to sort of hit traffic on the Sheikh Zayed Road, and you're going to be slow moving all the way up to Trade Centre roundabout in that direction. North of the creek, we've got an accident on the D83 in front of Ramul at the moment. One on the northbound carriageway of the 311 alongside Dubai International Airport, and one on the southbound carriageway of the 311 in Sharjah through the industrial area. It's also very busy in both directions on Sheikh Zayed Road through Sharjah city centre, although no accidents there that I can see. And lastly, still a few roadworks on the 611, but it's looking pretty okay at the moment. If you see anything I've missed though, you can let us know on 4001.
Thank you, Jen.
Dubai Eye
103.8.
And just a quick heads up, looking ahead to Thursday, which we think, although of course confirmation still to come, may be the first day of the holy month of Ramadan. So we're going to be talking about Ramadan in schools. We're going to be hearing from the teachers and talking a little bit about Arabic cultural studies too. So that is going to be Eye on Education with Repton School this Thursday from 2 o'clock.
This is Afternoons with Helen Farmer on Dubai Eye 103.8.
sponsored by the RAS